Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far and sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman. You're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 173. Today, we're going to be looking at episode 12, Juggernaut of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Joining me today is my little buddy Trent. He'll be there in a little bit for a quick review of this episode. But real quick, again, check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big T, Little T. We're playing some Myths and Mortals, Fortnite, current season. I think it's Chapter 5, Season 2, a little Greek mythology. Super fun. Right now they're doing a Last Airbender Avatar tie-in. Not really too jazzed about it, but that's okay. There's some cool little power-ups, little water, little fire, little rock. The elementals, if you will. And then we had the Outlaws trailer drop, which is pretty cool. So Ubisoft is doing a Star Wars. It's called Star Wars Outlaws. It was slightly delayed, been delayed. Now it's dropped. I believe the date is August 30th. Now, Ubisoft is a really, really good game developer. They have the whole Far Cry series. Assassin's Creed are kind of their two big ones. I think they just did the Skulls and Crossbones game, which is kind of taking a riff off of Black Flag Assassin's Creed and just going full pirate, matey. But this Outlaws trailer, Ubisoft also, I think they also did the new Avatar game, and we started playing that. But the classic video game, go and find this thing and open up this thing and do this tower to unlock the map thing, sometimes gets a little old. But I can tell you something about Ubisoft. That game, the Avatar game, looks gorgeous. So I think they're going to do well here. I mean, one of the big ones that was recent was Starfield, that you got to explore everything, and it was so big, so massive. That was a really good game, but it's just so large. And so I think it's a fine line between holding the gamer's attention, having explorability, but also keeping it a little concise, similar to what Respawn has done with like a Jedi Fallen Order. Again, it's not a massive multiplayer game. It is just that. It's a game that is tight, has a tight story, little explorability. I mean, it has the Zelda Metroidvania type thing where you get to go back and do your thing. And I think that appeals to me more than just like Starfield. It was so massive. I mean, it was just large and in charge. And so when you have something like that, from a gaming perspective, it's kind of hard. And again, similar to how Fortnite is right now, I mean, you know what you get, but the idea is that it's short, concise matches. That's the whole idea of where Fortnite gave its kind of popularity, is the storm is, slowly shrinking the map. So it allows for, it's basically forcing you to find people. So at the beginning, you get to explore, do all this kind of stuff, do your, side missions or whatever. But then at some point, it's like, oh, okay, we actually have to find other people and start having this kind of deathmatch. And that's appealing, because it's short, concise matches. When you have this kind of single player feel, you have to be very careful about how big you want it, and you don't want to be too predictable. That's why I really do like, even though Far Cry is a mature game, the one thing that is so awesome compared to like a Call of Duty is that it's very random. Like your gameplay experience is different than somebody else's gameplay experience. I forget which one it was. It might have been Far Cry 3 or 4 or something like that. I just remember this like big hawk like swooping down and taking like this pig, and I'm just like, what is going on here? And yes, he like took him and then dropped him, and then the pig died. It was great. I was like, or like I'm driving a truck and this like two rhinos like come out and like just T-bone me, and I'm like flipping around and like almost die and stuff like that. Those are fun experiences because it's like when you try to get a camp or you're trying to get an outpost or something like that, it's all random. The AI is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's like the NPCs are doing random things, where in Call of Duty it's more of a Rails game. Even though it's kind of big and open, your experience is the same as the other player's experience. There's not too much devil in the details, if you will. It's like this guy's going to always pop out of the store every time, and so when you have those kind of experiences, it's kind of manufactured, even though they're great. It's kind of like Hollywood. It's very trailer-ish. Is like, oh my gosh, this is a great trailer, but the substance isn't really there, and I really like more of a substance type of game. So I'm hoping Outlaws kind of bridges that gap where it's a little big but not too big to get you kind of lost, and that's kind of the whole point there. So yeah, go check out the Outlaws trailer. Ubisoft is great. It's going to be great to see a different game developer do something like that. So I'm super excited for that, which is great. So then the other thing is really we got a banger of an episode again, with really Bad Batch. Bad Batch is just dying. It's not dying. It's like that people are not going to make it out of here, man. So that's kind of tough to watch, but it's also we're getting to that Rogue One kind of area now that we're only, I think we got 3 episodes left after this. So okay, let's just talk about the title. So the title is called Juggernaut, okay? And the reason that this is cool, this is like a deep cut a little bit. If you don't know, you don't know, but essentially this is, this scene is featured in the trailer where you have the Bad Batch kind of on this cliff, a little solo action, like a little heist action where they're jumping from the turbo tank into the shuttle, okay? So again, there's a couple different names for this vehicle, but the true name of this vehicle is the HAVW A6 Juggernaut, okay? So the common name is the Juggernaut. Then you could be called a clone turbo tank or turbo tank. So either Juggernaut or turbo tank is kind of like the two terms it uses. This is manufactured by Kuwait Drive Yards, which did all your TIE fighters and all that stuff for the Imperial. It obviously is a tank with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wheels. So it's pretty large in a charge. But this is a first scene in Revenge of the Sith on Kashyyyk. They're having that kind of beachhead kind of fight, and this turbo tank is coming out and just like taking out the CIS bros, and just like taking out all the Confederacy battle droids and whatnot. But so it gets featured there, and then it has an appearance in Rogue One. So this is the same turbo tank Juggernaut that is featured in Rogue One, where Jyn is rescued by K2 and the rebels, and that is a pretty cool thing. So it's kind of like I like the idea that the Empire is actually repurposing a vehicle that was for the Republic and now for Empire, and they're using it for the Wabani labor camp. And then now it gets featured again in Bad Batch, which is great. We got a little monster truck action happening on the bridge, brother. This was super cool. I really loved how they used it for the idea here. So we'll get into the plot points in a bit, but honestly, this goes back even further than 2005, if you can believe it. But this 10-wheel tank, did I say 6? I don't know, 10, 12, It's around there. I think it's 10. I'll double check here. I think it's 10. Yes, it's 10. Okay, so 10 wheels. Me can count. Okay. It's actually originally developed by Joe Johnston. Okay, so Joe Johnston was a production guy in all the original trilogy and was a big influencer on a lot of the designs of Star Wars. And this was before the AT-AT walkers. There is, for the Battle of Hoth, they originally looked at this kind of big, large tank with these big wheels. So it just essentially it was just a little bit bigger, brother. It was just a little bit larger and was better armored in the kind of Joe Johnston cut. But yes, this one is great. I mean, this is just, it's great. I love this vehicle. I love the design. It's kind of has, it does, if you really look at it, it has kind of that AT-AT Ford design, and that's what Joe Johnston further developed into the AT-AT. So it's got those roots there because it has that Imperial look, and it's so great. So yeah, so that's really like a deep dive. So the Juggernaut, it's sometimes titles are they can mean multiple things. I mean, I think that's what I loved a lot about some of the Clone Wars titling, and now with Bad Batch you have this title, which is super, super cool. So the Juggernaut means multiple different things in this one, but basically the official description is, while seeking an unexpected source, the Batch must make a daring escape. So again, we have CX2 dropping off our girl Omega, and now Hemlock is turning her over to Emery Carr, and Hemlock right away, get the labs, let's do this thing. So M count is really right in the deal right away. Obviously Omega asks for Nalase, and Hemlock's like, bro, this girl is not our friend anymore. She's in a prison, so just get it done. But Carr really is torn between, she kind of knows what's going on with M count, and what's happening. So that's kind of where we leave Omega. She's not really safe in any way, but she knows that Carr's trying to look out for her, but really she's just not in a good spot. So Crosshair comes back and essentially says, okay, I might have a deal here. And so Wrecker and Hunter are like, you could have told us earlier. But they're like, he knows an Imperial officer that might know, they might know who has, who could be possible that knows Tantiss location. And that's our boy, Vice Admiral Edmund Rampart. So Rampart may know the Tantiss coordinates, and so this is our our only chance to possibly get that information. So they find out where Rampart is, and so he's in some Imperial Labor camp on Eberus. Again, a couple different ways you could say a Star Wars name, but there you go, Eberus. And so this is where they basically they work with our girl Fee. Fee shows up and paid a hefty price and understand where basically they get a little bit of coordinates and layout of the labor camp, essentially. And so they strategize on what they need, and then they put that in action and essentially tap into the network terminal, determine where Rampart is, and then they do the daring rescue with the Juggernaut thing. And so basically a little similar to kind of a rescue with Rogue One, but essentially they zip onto Rampart, or the Juggernaut, get Rampart, get the drivers, in this great action sequence, and essentially dump out the rest of the prisoners. And now they have Rampart, and Rampart's got a beard. We have these kind of funny little interactions. We see Rampart dealing with Juggernaut, and he's like, I can't speak that, but they're trying to do stuff, and Rampart's not in the best thing, but he kind of understands the leverage part, and Crosshair's kind of giving him information. It's like, look, I'm not giving you any information about Tantiss or anything else unless you get me out of here. And so the plans kind of change a little bit, but now Fee, they got the turbo tank battle and all that, and it's great. So they have this little battle, and everything goes, I guess, according to plan. A little close to call, but essentially it'll run out of road, and they get off of the Juggernaut and onto Fee's ship, and they're out of there. And so essentially the bargain is that, he said Rampart basically admits I doesn't know the coordinates of Tantiss, which was closely guarded secret, but he can get around it. And so like Rampart's like, hey, we're in this together, and then we kind of go back. So they kind of leave that not totally fulfilled, and then we kind of go back to Omega, and it's interesting. Hemlock kind of spilled the tea a little bit about Project Necormacer, and then she realizes that she sees the Force-sensitive children. So we have Eva, Jax, and some Pentorian child or something, and they're just kind of stuck. They're basically lab rats, and this will be her new home. And then they shut the door, and that's it. That's the Juggernaut. So pretty darn cool, but let me switch gears here and let's see what Trent had to say about this episode.
What's up? What's up? Oh my gosh. This was a little bit better than last week, because last week was heavy sauce.
Yeah.
This week, pretty darn good. Pretty action-packed, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
What was your favorite part?
When Omega goes into her vault, that was pretty cool.
Ooh, the music.
But
So good. So good. Yeah, but I mean, we got some turbo tank time, and it was pretty amazing. We get to see Rampart again. He got the beard going on.
Yeah.
Trying to talk some Juggernaut. Couldn't do that, but they're trying to find the location of Tantiss, and we got our girl Fee back. Granny, we love Granny.
I love to say anybody's
a friend
of Brown Eyes is my friend too.
That was good. That's good. Well, so that was really cool. We got to see some monster truck turbo tanks,
yes.
which was awesome. And it was a really, really good episode. But they left us hanging, so we will definitely have to wait till next week. They're gonna die. So here's the question, man: are they making it out of here? Bud, are they making it out of here?
For who?
The Bad Batch.
Yeah, maybe. They might just put a gun. They might just torture him. Well, no, they wouldn't.
Hemlock?
Not Hemlock to the kids, but
Oh, okay.
for the Bad Batch to
I think Omega's gonna somehow get these kids out of there too.
Yeah.
So she got a heart of gold. All right.
Yes.
Well, there's our quick review of what was this one called?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. That's a good one. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
There you have it. Again, not as heavy as the doubleheader last week, but Trent and I really enjoyed this episode, and so hope you guys did too. We can't wait to let's recap here. We got 3 episodes left. Into the Breach, Flash Strike, The Cavalry Has Arrived, ending on May 1st. So we got April 17th, April 24th, and then May 1st. That is crazy. I can't believe that is happening, but it is happening. So light it all up. Okay. What was your favorite part of episode, 12? Yes, 12, Juggernaut. Drop us a line. Give us an email at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. Let's go. Let's hear it. Let's give us some feedback. We'd love to hear about it, and we would love to send some stickers your way. Hey, thanks again, Space Wizards. Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses for listening to another episode 173 of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on the socials, Big T, Little T podcast on Instagram, BLILT podcast on Twitter, and twitch.tv/Big T, Little T. We got stickers, so we want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Hey, hit us up on Good Pods. That's another avenue where we get rated there, and it just helps gets a little visibility there. So check out Good Pods, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. We'd love to, if you give us a 5-star rating and give us a little comment, take a screenshot of that. We'd love to read that in an upcoming episode. Next time, Bad Batch. Let's go. Episode 13. Let's happen. Now, truly, whoa, I goofed already. Here we go. Now remember, truly wonderful the mind of the child is, and may the Force be with you always. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Dad, look at the droid selling queso.
It's not polite to talk about others like that.
It's okay, kids. What are the chances he's gonna hear us?
It's high. It's very high. Don't worry. You can make up for your embarrassment by procuring some of my queso. It has flavor.
Only K2's Mucho Queso is made from a blend of Bantha and Thala siren milks.
Here, ingest this.
Ew, it stinks.
I could say the same for you.
What?
This is so good.
Congratulations. Your taste buds are being rescued.
Daddy, let's buy it.
Your behavior, young lady, is continually unexpected.
Rebels will love the home-style meltiness of K2's Mucho Queso. The Empire? Well, Marva said it best.
Let's get going, kids.
Try K2's Mucho Queso. You'll love it. Cassian said you had to.